I'm lazy.
Nice.
Just laziness.
Good.
I hope I'm not getting a beard.
I didn't really want to say anything, but you know, I mean, it's kind of nice. Camille, it's been a long time. Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've been having a little bit of a hard time with like the kind of like I'm a little bit down just because like it seems like it's really hard to figure out when things are going to start again. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sada, by the way, for helping me with that.
It's a pleasure.
Sada's trying to set up a concert for me. But yeah, it's been hard. I've been calling a lot of places and trying to see if things are starting. It's like I just keep getting everybody saying they're not doing anything and everything's kind of like not moving. So it's kind of.
It's kind of the same here too. Yeah. Doesn't like all my teachers, all my friends were all like, when can we get gigs again? It's kind of not happening, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It's like I think at least some of the people I've been talking to, and I definitely feel like this. It's like I felt like I was going to get so much done because I had all this free time, and it's actually just been like really hard to get motivated and actually do things.
Well, for me, I can't stare at a wall and be inspired to do things, so that doesn't make sense to me. So yeah.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
We're talking about being depressed. Before we start listening to I Fall in Love Too Easily. So yeah, it's been hard, and a lot of people I've talked to have felt like this. You know, it's try to stay up, but it requires a lot of like inner strength. Also, not like having anybody that's kind of like I don't know. This has also been like a huge thing because I'm sure I would have been meeting people and playing music with them over the last like month if I didn't have this, but it was just like it wasn't ideal timing because I had already been like 2 months without playing any music with anybody, and now it's like gonna be another 2 months by the time I get this off. So anyway, but we're getting on with it, and at least we have this, which is really nice for me at least. So okay, well, I thought this week it'd be interesting to try something a little different in terms of the kind of version that we're going to listen to. And I think it'll be challenging, but it could also be pretty interesting to see how we do. It might not be so challenging. I'm not sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a version. And I'm first of all curious. I imagine maybe some of you will recognize the musicians or maybe not. So first of all, we'll see about that, like kind of a little like collective blindfold test. And then also it's interesting because it's not nearly as cut and dried as usually the stuff that we've been using as our basic versions. So there's a lot more kind of like interaction. It's a lot more improvised, and things aren't quite as obvious as they usually are. Even the form might be a little more difficult. So I have listened to this a number of times already, and I haven't transcribed it yet. So I'll be kind of like doing that in real time with you guys. But I'll hopefully be able to guide us through it if we get stuck. But I thought this would be an interesting challenge to see how this goes with a little bit more of a difficult performance. So I'm going to check and get my audio shared here. Here we go. And turn the volume down on my end. Just a second, I'm going to try to set my mic volume as well to make sure I don't deafen you guys. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit and we'll see how it goes in terms of volume. How's this in terms of volume? Is this okay for you guys? You guys hear? No, you're all muted up.
Music.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The music is okay for me, but your voice is really, really low.
Okay, I'm going to try to like crank the gain up here. Also, because I would like to turn the music up because I can barely hear it, actually. So let me see if this is any better. How's this? Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better. Okay, cool. So, does anybody recognize these musicians already?
Is it Bill Evans?
Nope.
No.
Why don't you? Well, we won't talk about it yet, but we'll listen through to it once from the beginning to the end, because it's not unpleasant, and then we'll talk about first of all who it is. I mean, I'm guessing some of you might figure it out, but anyway, here we go. Okay, enjoy. you guys figure out who it was?
I think him.
Ooh. Sorry, that was loud. That's. What do you guys think? Did anybody? She got it. Did anybody else get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when he starts humming while he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't. He was like pretty calm in this one, but yeah, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's super nice touch.
Yeah, he's pretty special. He was pretty special. I mean, I don't know. Has he completely stopped playing? I know he's really slowed down, but I don't know if he's actually completely stopped
Really?
playing.
I didn't know.
I don't know. I mean, like, I guess in practice, it might be that he hasn't played concerts in a long time, but I don't think I'm not saying it officially announced it, but I'm pretty sure the trio's been done for a while. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard of any concerts he's been doing recently. I think he was having some health problems. But have any of you seen his video? There's this video called The Art of Improvisation, which is like features him. It's kind of interesting because he's pretty crazy. And that video is like, if you guys go check it out, like the voice, you hear this, like, I think I watched it quite a while ago. And you hear this voice, like kind of this like voiceover, and it sounds like a 12-year-old kid, and it's him. It's pretty crazy. But it's also got like, I think a bunch of like people from his past, and there's like Dijonette and Peacock, and also I can't think of the name of the bass player from the ECM records, the quartet. What's his name? This is really embarrassing. Anyway, it's like all these these amazing like people that are like wrote the history of jazz, all talking about him. It's interesting also to see how strange all of those people are as well. But I recommend it if you guys have some time, if you can find it, to watch it, because he's like pretty important figure, and it's also interesting to see the things he says. I don't think I would ever want to spend any time with him unless he was on a stage and I was in the audience. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so did anybody figure anything out from listening to this? I'm curious, because my idea today is actually to listen to I'm not gonna do the piano outro every time, although I think it's nice to listen to once. But I was thinking about just listening to it basically from the beginning to the end a bunch of times, and seeing how far we can get with just listening to the song in context with people as they're playing. So did you guys get anything figured out already, or any questions? You guys want to talk about things that you've already figured out, or should we listen to it another time or two?
I wanted to ask how you're going to count the measures, because it's I'm not sure, like, if I'm going to have, should I say the number of measures? Like, I don't know if I'm going to count 16 or 32, because it's like...
Well, my plan, I'm actually kind of working backwards personally, because I'm finding it a little bit easier. Also because some of the stuff they do at the very beginning of the chorus, because of the way they play it, you know, they're not being super explicit about things. So I'm finding it easier to work backwards from the end. And I've decided that the one chord is on the penultimate bar. So like one chord is on the second to the last bar.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps you.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. So that's how I would count it. Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Cool. And that is like, that's my strategy for this one, actually, is I'm kind of like finding it a lot easier to work backwards personally. So you may consider that if you're having a hard time. Does anybody feel totally stuck and out of their depth? Like this is going to be totally impossible for them? Or does it feel like you think you can get some stuff?
It was just,
yeah, I guess.
So
what's that?
I was just enjoying. I didn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I've heard it a lot of times now. So, and I was still enjoying it, but now I'm like trying to analyze it. But yeah, see if you can both enjoy it and analyze it as we're listening to it. So, okay, I'm just gonna run it another couple times, I guess, and then maybe we can talk about it a little bit. Okay. How you guys doing? I only see one smile.
I'm a little bit stuck, but it's okay. I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. How's there? Is anybody like not stuck? We may have bitten off more than we can chew today. Well, what do you guys want to do? We could keep working on this one and I can kind of try to guide you guys through it, or we can skip to maybe a more simple version.
I think it's gonna be okay for me. I just need to hear it once more.
Okay. I mean, how have you guys figured out kind of like where there are ones and where like the sections are and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we do this? Let's start with this. Let's talk about the form. What are we going to call this form? Silence.
A, B.
What are you going to call it? Sorry?
A, B.
A, B. Okay. Anybody else?
That's also what I want to call it.
Okay. That's fine with me. I was going to call it A, B, C, D, but I guess A, B is okay too. It's definitely not like A, B, A or A, B, A, C, right?
Yes, right.
My feeling is that there's like, does anything repeat? Do we have like repeats happening?
I don't think so.
It seems like everything is new, right? Each time. The melody is kind of like the thing that ties it all together, because we have that. And there's this like, but it seems like this gradual movement, like throughout things. There's no repeated sections. So that was like the start for the reason that it's like pretty difficult is that. So let me finish writing out the form here. How about like major, minor? Did you guys figure that out? No?
Major.
Major?
Major, yeah.
Everybody, like, you guys all agree?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Let's see. What do you guys want to listen to? Well, you guys want to listen to it like maybe once more or twice more all the way through, and then we can start to talk about the things that we found, and that way maybe we can kind of like have some like make the holes a little bit smaller, so we have like a less overwhelming and like terrifying feeling when we're trying to like figure out the things that are missing. Why don't we do that? Is somebody going to say something?
No.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Don't forget to sing. Alrighty. I can almost see you guys sweating. All right, let's talk about what do we have? First of all, we said the form. I'm going to use the A, B, C, D just because it's going to make it easier when we're actually, if we decide to focus in on one section or another. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. You guys are welcome to call it A, B if you want. I'm going to write down my little sheet here. Okay, so we said it's major, right? No, I can't see myself up there. All right, get some light on here. Can you guys see okay? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
We
guys,
see it.
okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we know? Where's there one? You said there's one at the end of the form, right? That's like an easy one. Where's the one at the end of the form? Everybody's got their mics muted. I can't hear.
Yes.
I've heard.
But
I didn't hear. What's that?
Okay.
Now I hear you guys. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
in the second last bar.
Okay, everybody agree? There's a one here.
Yeah.
Okay. There's let's see. I found one other one chord in the whole song. Did anybody else find it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody not find another one chord in the song? Okay. Well, let's talk about where it is. Where is Luca? Were you going to say something?
Probably at the end of B
At the end of B. Okay. What do you guys think?
or
Here.
D. B.
At the end of D or B.
I've heard. I think I've heard at the end of B.
At the end of B. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Here.
It's a new one at the end of B. It's not the one of the
Okay.
tonality.
I agree with Sada. But so you heard the resolution there. So here's what I would recommend. If some of you are having like a really hard time, I'm not sure if you feel like kind of really out of your depth here, what I would suggest is even if you don't try to transcribe the whole thing relative to a single one, what you could do is you could figure out where there are, like try to figure out where the cadences are, okay? So even if you're not going to be able to analyze everything with the original one, maybe at least try to say, okay, no, I hear there's a 2-5-1 here, or I hear there's a 3-6-2-5-1 here, or I hear we're going to the relative, something like that. So I think that's that way this could be hopefully useful for everybody. Because I think for some of you, this will be a challenge that might be like really difficult. And so for some other of you, it might be something a little bit more doable. But I want to keep going with it because I think it'll be an interesting, it'll be really different from everything else we've done. So, okay. So I agree with Sada. I agree with both of you actually, with Luca and Sada. There's something here, right at the end of B. There's some kind of resolution here. And I agree with Sada that it's not the original one. Okay. So does anybody know what this is? Don't say what it is, but tell me if you figured it out.
Yes, I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you know? Okay, cool. So how about, did anybody else, Sada you said you found another one in the piece?
Yes.
Okay, who else found another one?
Me.
Everybody? Okay, Camille?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, why don't you guys tell us where the other one is?
I think it's on bar 3.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, me too.
Everybody agree? Okay. I agree. Okay. So let's see, what else can we think of? The D section, I think, is the easiest one. That's actually where I started. Personally, I figured this is the first thing I did. So I'm gonna explain my strategy because I think I've got it now. And I actually made a big mistake for like the first couple times we listened to it. I transcribed the whole thing and I made a mistake. But then when I realized it was, I fixed it. And this is what I'm gonna say to you, Luca, because I did I basically transcribed it wrong, like from here all the way to the end of the C section. But then because I started then once I realized that, you know, the first thing I did was this. I figured out here's a 1, right? And then I started to think, okay, I know what happens before the 1, and I know what happens all the way back to here, and even back to here. I knew all this stuff. This all came pretty fast, okay? All the way to the end, okay? And then what I did is I started from the beginning, and I made a mistake in here, and I kept going because it took me a while to realize my mistake. And the way I realized my mistake was I got to here and it didn't work anymore. I thought, no, that's not what that doesn't work. That doesn't sound right. And so it's like if you have people building a bridge, you know, on each side of the river, and this guy builds his bridge, and then this other guy builds his bridge, and then they don't line up. And that's how I figured out that I'd made the mistake. Once I realized that, then I figured out where it was really quick, and I corrected everything. Okay, so now I think I have it right. But that's my recommendation. I recommend, especially for you, Luca, if you're struggling, try to pay close attention to the way we can work backwards from the last 1. Okay, even if you could get the whole D section, that would already be like a pretty nice result. Okay. So let's see. There's this chord here comes back. It comes back again, right? The chord we have here right before C. Whatever this is happens again. Okay. And I'm not sure how far. Does anybody feel like they've almost finished?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Are you guys cheating? You guys are sharing results, aren't you? You're like taking the test together. Okay. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to talk about some more things that we found? Why don't we take kind of like a vote here? Who has all of the A section finished?
Me.
Me.
Yeah, I'm okay on the A.
Camille?
No.
Okay. How about the B section? Who has all the B section finished?
Me.
Yeah.
How about the C section?
Yeah.
Damn.
I am quite stuck on the C.
You're quite stuck on the C. Okay.
Yeah, I have some trouble on the second part of C.
Okay, so I'm going to suggest you do the same thing I told Luca and listen
Mhm.
backwards from D, okay?
Okay.
Listen backwards from the, did you get the D section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to suggest you listen back, you work backwards, you know, and use your ears and also use logic to figure out what, you know, what would be happening like before or after these things, okay? But there's also, I think it's going to help you, if you feel like you have B, then I think if you can, you're going to like want to connect B and C, and then you're going to want to connect D back to C. C was the mystery for me as well. I mean, I guess well, actually more the mystery was kind of, for me, was like B in the beginning of C. It was very clear to me what they were, like everything. Once I figured out where the actual modulation was, then I had already transcribed this all correctly, but I had transcribed in the wrong key. So there was something that happened before that threw me off. So, okay, why don't we do this? Let's listen. What I'd like to do is I'd like to listen maybe once more to the whole thing, and then we could potentially focus in on a few sections, okay? And if you already figured out all the chords or all the roots, if you don't have the qualities, try to figure out the qualities, okay? And another thing I wanted to mention, when Gary Peacock comes in, when the bass comes in, it's pretty fucking weird for the first like 3 or 4 bars of the chorus. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but I think they probably didn't decide what song they were going to play. And I think it took them a second to kind of get into it. So if you listen to like the first handful of notes that Gary Peacock plays, it's like, also because, you know, it's like, I think he didn't quite get it right away. So that's one of the reasons that it's pretty tough if you're listening to the very first chorus with bass. It's not very clear what's happening in the first like 8 bars or so. So, all right, why don't we listen to this again all the way through? And, you know, anybody, you know, try to use those techniques, working backwards from the 1 here. And if you've already figured out, you know, like what happens in the B section, see if you can work forwards. And keep in mind that if you do make one mistake, that's the nice thing about the Roman numeral system. If you make a mistake and you're off by a half step, but you transcribe everything from that mistake on correctly, then you can just fix it later by deleting whatever like accidentals you put in, you know, which is kind of nice. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, Sada Jane, did you make any progress?
I'm getting better, but I'm not sure.
Okay. How about you, Luca?
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard for me, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to recognize the progressions, and it's I have a little bit of confusion, but I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just listening.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's an advanced party, so it is a little bit trickier. And this is probably,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, what do you guys think? This is maybe the hardest one we've done so far. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. But yeah, I would say for now, just continue to try to figure out where there are resolutions. You know, anytime you hear a 5-1, and then think about whether the 1 is a major or minor, you know, anything like that, that could be, you know, you can still, I think, get a lot out of this, even if you don't actually manage to transcribe the whole thing on your own. So. Okay, does everybody besides Luca have the A section ready? Camille, did you get that figured out?
I think. Yeah.
So everybody else has that as well, right? Sada Jane and Nicolo and Miki?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Why don't we go ahead and go through it and talk about it? What's the, oh, did you guys notice the thing that, that Gary Peacock did at the beginning of the first A section? Well, why don't we talk through the A section, then we'll listen to that because it's pretty funny. So what's the what happens before the 1 chord?
2, 5.
Yeah, everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and this is no surprise. It seems like a pretty logical choice. So then what happens here? We have a Luca. Did you hear that there's a new 1 here? Just before the B.
Yeah, something I've heard.
Yeah, you heard, like, did you hear resolution? Because there's a resolution here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we going here? What is this chord?
6th degree.
6, everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So this is the one I got wrong at first. I thought that this was a flat 6, and I transcribed everything from, like, starting from here all the way down to, like, here wrong because of that. But I was only wrong by a half step. So all I had to do was delete all the little B signs, and I was okay once I realized it. So, okay, so what's before the 6?
3.
3.
Yeah, and before that?
7.
Okay. And let's see. And then in this bar here, did you guys hear there's something here?
4.
Yeah.
What is it?
4. I don't know.
A 4, do you guys agree?
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of 4?
Major.
Major? What do you guys think?
I think it's minor, but I don't know. I was feeling no, don't know.
Okay. Anybody else want to chip in?
I think it's major 7.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll listen to this again. It could be major 7 or minor 7. It also potentially could be a dominant chord, right? Theoretically. But I actually agree. I think it's major. So, and maybe we can, like, go ahead and we'll stop on that and check it out later. But I just sang a lot of these things. I would, like, sing, you know, like I knew this. I heard this as major right away. Also because it's very diatonic sounding. And then I checked to see if it was dominant or not by singing the major 7th, and the major 7th worked for me. So I agree that this is a major 7 chord. How about the qualities on these chords? Did you guys get those?
Diminished.
I think half diminished. And
Yeah, everybody agree? How about this?
I think
it's dominant.
Yeah, okay. All right, how about the B section? Does everybody have the B section?
Yeah.
I think half of it.
You got half of it? Okay. How about the C section? Does everybody have the C section?
I only have half as well.
How about the D section?
Yeah.
Does anybody not have the D section? Let's talk about the D section then. Okay, what do we have? We have the 1 here. What do we have before the 1?
2, 5.
Okay, 1 per bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Well, I give it away. This is a 2 minor chord, right? Did anybody have any confusion about that?
No.
Okay. All right, how about before the 2, 5?
3, 6.
Okay, qualities?
Minor dominant.
Minor dominant? I heard somebody say half diminished and somebody say minor dominant.
I said the 6 is dominant for
Okay,
sure.
do you guys agree?
Yeah. I think the 3 is minor too.
It's minor, okay. And I thought I heard somebody say half diminished too. No?
No.
Everybody thinks it's minor, okay.
I'm not sure if it's.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure of the quality. Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we leave that for later? We can figure that out. Okay, how about beginning 2 bars of the D?
2, 5.
2, 5.
Okay. What kind of 2?
Minor.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, why don't we leave that for now? How about and you said 5, right?
Yeah.
What about the 5? Quality?
Dominant.
Dominant. I think.
Dominant.
Dominant, everybody agree? Okay. Okay, how about, what about the last couple bars of the C section? Does anybody not have that? Okay, well then what is it?
3, 6, 2. Plus. I did it. Oh my god. It's 2.
2. Here, right?
Yeah.
What kind of 2?
Minor 6.
2 minor 6? What do you guys think?
I think that's.
Let's figure out if it's major. Is it major or minor?
Minor.
It's minor.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not, to tell you the truth, Camila, I'm not sure if it's a minor 6. It could be.
I'm not sure either.
But I agree that's minor. I would definitely say that's minor. Okay. And then, so from what I'm seeing, it seems like some of us don't have all of the B and some of us don't have all of the C yet, right? So
yeah.
why don't we listen to it again? Okay. And I'm going to play, actually, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to leave my mic open and we're going to stop just to listen to Gary Peacock's like epic fail at the beginning of the A section, first A section. There he goes. He's trying to figure it out. Here he is now. He's got it. So he starts on the 1. He puts a nice 1 at the beginning of the A section. And then I think he's off by a bar for like the whole time. And then he kind of like does that thing here. And then he finally gets in, like, I think in B. So, okay. So let's listen to it from, I guess we can keep moving from here, or I'll start at the beginning of that chorus. And I'll point to my sheet so you guys can get oriented. And then you guys can pay attention to B and C. And we'll listen to maybe like a couple choruses and pay attention to B and C. Okay, here we go. Okay. Any progress on B or C?
No.
No? Sarah Jane?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about one bar. Not at all. It's missing out.
Which area are you talking? Which section are you talking about?
C.
C. Okay.
C.
How are you doing on C, Camille?
I only have the last 4 bars. I think
Okay.
yeah.
And how are you doing on B?
On B,
Yeah.
I have the first 4 bars.
First 4 bars. Okay. Sarah Jane, how are you doing on B?
I think better. I'm not sure about one chord, but maybe I'm round about it.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we work a little bit on the on B for now? And I just want to mention, anybody that's like, if you guys are done transcribing, Nicolo and Miki, I'm talking to you. It's interesting to also pay attention. Actually, this is interesting for all of us to pay attention to the detail in the way that Gary Peacock accompanies on bass. All the times that he doesn't actually put the chord on the downbeat, which is all the time. And this is like, I've been paying a lot of attention to this lately. There's another one I think we're going to transcribe in a future party with Charlie Hayden on bass. And it's so amazing to actually, I've never actually dissected this. I'm just used to like listening to it or playing with, you know, bass players. I haven't played with Charlie Hayden or Gary Peacock, unfortunately. But like when you play with good bass players, I guess I notice, oh, this feels really cool and interesting. And it makes like, I have so much space to be free. And now paying close attention to what they're actually doing, I'm starting to maybe learn a little bit about why it is that, and how they create that feeling. And I think it's so interesting. So one thing is to pay attention, like close attention to where they do things like put a pedal down or don't play the root, or maybe they delay a resolution or they anticipate a resolution, all these things. So there's plenty of stuff to listen to, even if you already have the chords. Okay, so let's work on B a little bit. We're gonna start from A, and I'm gonna start maybe from the second chorus. So we have, because it's so confusing when Gary Peacock messes it up at the beginning. So I'm going to start from the second chorus. We're going to listen to A and B, and I'm just going to try to loop, we'll loop that a few times. Then we'll maybe skip to the third chorus and loop that a few times as well. And then we'll talk about it, okay? Let's see if I can find it first. Here comes. So Gary Peacock's not helping us figure out B here at all, is he? I'm going to see if we can skip to the next chorus and see if it's any clearer. Here comes. Okay, so that was just the first 4 bars of B. I think it's pretty clear how that relates to the A section. Why don't we just listen to this again? Maybe I'm already like, is this the part that you guys already had?
Yeah.
Camila, you already had this as well?
I hope. Yeah, I think.
Okay, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to still listen to it from the beginning of the A section. And I want you guys to hear the actual movement that it makes here is something that you're really familiar with. And it may be just that you've never seen it starting, you know, where we are here. Why don't we talk about this? Since it seems like all of you guys think you have the beginning of B, let's talk about what the beginning of B is, okay? What is the beginning of B? The first 4 bars of B.
I think it's 736.
What do you think, Camille?
Nope, didn't have that.
What do you have?
I had 6273, but I don't know if
You had, so you had 6,
yeah,
2,
I thought it was
7, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this one again. Nicolo and Miki, what did you guys have?
Like Sarah.
Like Sarah. Okay. So let's listen to this again. And I want, let's pay extra special attention to the bass in the second half of the A section and see what it does differently in the B, if it does. Here's what I hear. Da, dum, da,
Yeah.
dum, dum, da. It repeats, right?
Yeah, I agree now.
Okay, cool. All right, so now I want you to listen to what happens, because there is a movement here, right? And actually the movement is something that you guys have all heard a million times and you know, but you're not used to hearing it maybe start from 6. Okay? So let's listen to it again. I'm going to skip back a little bit. I'll try to find I'll follow along on my sheet so you guys know where we are, and we'll listen to it a few times. So Gary Peacock does a little tricky thing here, for example. This is like him not giving us the easy answer. So we'll try a different chorus and see if that's easier. These are things that if you're like, again, Nicolo and Miki, if you're getting bored, pay attention to these things because they're cool. They're like nice little secrets. No, I picked the wrong chorus. Sorry, it's the one where he does all these pedals. Sorry about this, guys. Well, I'd like to do something really quick. This is a good chorus, I think, for us to pay attention to. So, can you guys sing one?
No. No,
Ba. That's the one. No.
That's the one where we are now. There we go. Let's check. I gotta figure out where they actually play one. We'll go to the beginning. Yeah, you're right, Nicolo. That's one, okay? So let's do this. Let's sing from the beginning of the chorus up to here, okay? We'll sing all the roots. Okay, here's one. One, okay? If you guys want to unmute yourselves, you're welcome to. If you don't want to, that's fine too if you're shy or something like that. I'm going to sing them, but I'm going to point to them first so you guys will have a chance to sing them before I sing, okay? So that way you can, when I sing, hopefully I'll be right and you can correct yourselves if you make a mistake, okay? So here's one. One, okay, here's two.
Two.
5.
3, 6,
7,
7, 3,
3,
6.
Okay, now we're going to listen to it here
Mm.
again. 6, okay? And listen to what the bass player does, what Gary Peacock does. Sorry, here we are. 5, 3, 6. 5. Oh, I started in the wrong spot. Sorry, people. Here it is. 1, 4, 7, 6, 7, 3. Listen. That's what I want you guys to hear. Can you guys sing that? The bass player, the bass notes? Yeah, everybody get that? Da, 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 da. So the first one is 6, right? 6, da, da. Okay, figure out what those intervals are, okay? Because the last one is this chord. Okay? Da, da, da. Okay? So actually, this time, Gary Peacock put this note, he put it at the in the second half of the bar. But I think generally, in theory, it would be here. Okay? So, Sada and Camille, have you figured out what that note is?
Yeah, I think so.
Camille?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Hey, Kavi. You guys want to tell us what it is?
It's 5.
5. Okay. And how about this one?
Sharp 4.
What do you think, Camille?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think this is going to be enough. So do you guys know what let's listen to this again. Maybe you've already figured it out, but this should be enough to get you guys to even like without listening again to know what this chord is going to probably be. Okay. But let's just listen to it again for fun. Gary Peacock didn't play the bass note here. I'm going to fire him. I'm going to make sure they never play another concert as a trio. All right. So he didn't play the bass. He didn't play the actual root here. But do you guys figure out what it's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it going to be?
It's major 3.
What do you think, Camille?
I think it's 3. I'm not sure it's major. Is it
okay.
major?
Nicolo? Miki?
I thought it's dominant 7.
But you agree with it's a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody agrees it's a 3. So
Yeah.
that means that here, what do we have?
7.
7, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also unsure because I feel like I'm not sure whether to give you guys the qualities of the chords, because sometimes it feels kind of like really mechanical to say, okay, what kind of chord is it? But at the same time, maybe it's useful. What do you guys think? Is it useful for me to like ask you guys that and make you think about it? Or do you feel like if it's obvious, I should just fill it in to save time?
Well, it depends what you think is obvious or not, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of hard to know sometimes. So, okay. Well, why don't we, what kind of chord is this?
This is dominant.
Agreed? Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, how about this one?
Minor.
Everybody agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody? Everybody? 110% of everybody agree? I'm not sure. I think this is not minor, personally. What would be the most diatonic thing for it to be?
Half diminished.
Yeah. I kind of think it's half diminished. Does anybody else think so?
Oh my God, what the?
Can we hear it again?
Yeah, of course. Welcome back, Kavi. It's nice to see you again.
Oh my God, now I can hear you. I couldn't figure out the audio and stuff, sorry.
I just thought you couldn't decide if you wanted to party with us or not. You're like, this party
No.
sucks.
No. When I first came, I was hungry, so I went to eat, but I couldn't figure out how to get back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Problem solving. All right. Right now, what do you think, Kavi? Is it a sharp 4 half diminished or a sharp 4 minor 7?
It's definitely half diminished.
Definitely half diminished, Kavi says. All right. Let's listen to it again.
I vote for a minor 7.
A minor 7. Okay. That's the flat 5. Da da. I agree. It's a minor 7 here. Did you guys ever all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's only one person. Did all of you guys hear it? I don't want to skip over this if you guys need another chance to hear it again. All right, your silence is making me think that it's okay. But I'm almost certain that I heard a half diminished chord in another chorus, actually. So that's one interesting thing, because I do feel like a number of these things where I feel like there's a quality, and then another chorus, I think it's a different quality. So I'm not sure if that's me hearing wrong, or if sometimes they're leaving out like voices to make it ambiguous. But I do feel like in another chorus, I heard this as a half diminished. So, and I would like all you guys to pay attention to that again. Maybe later we'll listen to the whole song again once we've got it all figured out, because we're actually getting pretty close now. I don't think we're missing much. We can listen to it again, and it'll be interesting to pay close attention and try to notice whether the chords are the same every chorus, because I do feel like they're kind of ambiguous sometimes. So we also need to check and see what quality the 3 is, because we had some confusion about that. So I'm gonna loop that a few times, and everybody that wants to can sing along and see if we can figure this out. Okay, here we go. Opinions? You want to hear it some more? Nobody has an opinion. All right.
Yes. Can we hear it one more time, please?
Okay, yeah, I'll play it a few more times. do you guys think? You need to hear it some more? Do you want to you want me to kind of help you with it?
There is a major third, and I'm not sure if it changes between the two bars. I'm not sure, but don't know. But I can hear dominant, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know.
What do you
It's the
think, Camille?
same.
Not
I'm
sure?
not hearing something dominant. Well, not in the seventh bar of the B, anyways.
Not here.
Not here. Not on this three. I'm
Okay.
hearing
I'm
something
hearing.
half diminished, but I don't know. It's like.
Okay. Let me think about that for a second.
I guess you hear half diminished because the bass is not playing the root, right? Is it possible? Because I was hearing half diminished too.
I'm hearing do da do ba do da. This is what I'm hearing.
Let's think about that. I think what you're singing is probably, my guess is that there's probably,
That's from.
you're hearing like a half diminished chord on the dominant seventh. Does that make sense? So if this were like an E7, you'd be hearing like a D, F, A flat, or G sharp, and C. So that would be like a dominant 7, flat 9, sharp 5, right?
Okay.
I think that might be what it is. Let's just listen again. You're hearing this? Is that what you're hearing?
One more time. What were you singing?
I hear this voice, which is the flat 9, flat 9, flat 9, da, and then he resolves down, da. Yeah, the other thing is I think I'm putting the bass in mentally, like I'm thinking of the bass note, even though it's not actually really being played. Let's listen again. Da, 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 da. That's what I'm hearing. What are you guys hearing?
So it's like a dominant flat 9.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
What do you guys think, Nico and Miki?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is this might be like something specific they do on this course that they don't do on other courses. Again, that's one of the interesting things about listening to actually like a full version played by kind of improvising jazz musicians and how things change from course to course. So keep that in mind. The things that we're finding might not necessarily be exactly the same every course, okay? So let's move on. So anyway, let's just a second. Before, so this is the equivalent. Let's say we're in, the root movement here is the same as like hearing like 2, 1, 7, 3, 6, right? It's kind of, it sounds like kind of like going from 2 minor down to the relative minor. That's the root movement. Okay, it's the same root movement as you have in that case. I can't think of right now. I'm trying to think of like a specific example. I know we've seen this movement in another party on another song, but I don't remember which one. But the thing is, like, to keep in mind that a lot of these things, like if you take this out and you transpose it around, you're going to find that it would also be the equivalent of 2, 1, 7, 3, 6. Okay. And anyway, 3 is a pretty common key to move to modulate to. Usually we would have a 3 minor. So the surprising thing here is that it's not a 3 minor. If we're in a major key, the minor is going to be 3, right? But there are a lot of major tunes that actually transpose into like, well, I don't know if there's a lot, but I can think of a few major songs that modulate into 3 major, which is kind of surprising, pretty startling actually. So, okay, let's move on and get into the C section here. which I think is not going to be. Oh, I remember Sada, Jane, and Camille, you said you had half of the C-section. Which half did you guys have?
Well, I think I've got it now.
You've got it all. Okay.
Yeah, I think so, but
Okay.
yeah.
Camille?
I had the second half.
You had the second half. Okay. So I'm guessing this will be quick. Let's listen to the last chorus, this chorus here, and see what see if those guys give us a hand or not. So he didn't help us this time either. But anyway, I think the first half was pretty clear. Did you get that figured out, Camille, or no? Do you want to hear it again?
I'm singing in my head to figure it out, but
Okay. Do you want to hear it again?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna just give you guys a hint here, if you don't have it yet. Gary Peacock is not playing bass notes, the bass notes that we expect in this spot. He's like taking a little bit of liberties. So kind of like try to think around him if you can, which is a really important skill actually. I'm going to skip to a different chorus and see if we can find one where he does something a little bit more clear for us. Not this one. So Gary Peacock, I'm thinking about it. He makes this hard every time. Camille, have you made any progress?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's not helping us out. The clearest version of the clearest place for this, I think, is actually Jarrett's solo piano intro. So why don't we try and see if that makes things any clearer? Why don't you tell us what you're thinking, Camille?
I'm very confused now.
You're very
No,
confused?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's do this because I think you can get this, and I don't want to tell it to you. I don't want to tell you the answer.
Okay.
So why don't we do this? Do you guys know what happens at the beginning of C, first of all? I don't remember if we actually established that or not. Did you figure that out or not? No, you're stuck with that. Okay, so I think you can get it. I think you'll find that you can get it. What I want to do now, because this may be actually enough to get us like to finish. We're going to listen to the whole recording actually from the beginning to the end again, okay? And any holes that you have, any doubts that you have about anything, roots, chord qualities, or anything like that, try to figure that out. And then we're going to stop and we're going to check in with everybody, okay? That might give you a chance because the problem is, because it's such a long recording, it's really hard for me to find a specific spot. And I'm afraid that we're going to waste more time with me clicking around than actually listening to the whole thing and giving you guys another chance, okay? So Here we go. Don't get fooled by Gary Peacock here. What'd you do? Did you get anything new?
Yeah, I think I got the missing part.
Great. Okay. So everybody's pretty much got it, right? Okay, let's do it. What happens at C? Camille, go.
So it's again 2, 5, 2, 3. So
No,
it's not.
No, I'm just kidding. You're right.
That would have made me very sad.
Okay. And extra credit. Is it exactly the same 2, 5 to 3?
Well, I'm hearing dominant 3, but then yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I hear it going to 6. At least I feel like on the next bar after that, but I don't know.
How about this?
Oh, well, I wrote minor 7, but it doesn't sound exactly quite like the one before, so I'm not sure.
Right. So what would it maybe be if it's not a minor 7? Anybody else?
I think it's half diminished, but I'm not. Yeah, I think half diminished in that
What
case.
do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree?
I'm not 100% secure, but I think last 2 times they do half diminished, but before maybe
They do minor.
Yeah.
Okay, it's possible. I heard this is half diminished. I'm certain. So I think I might have gotten confused before when I was fighting with you guys about this, right? Because I have on my other sheet, I've inverted them. But I think this is mostly half diminished. I actually thought it was always half diminished, but I could be wrong. And this is maybe always minor 7. Before I was getting confused, and I think I flipped them once or twice. But I'm going to say half diminished for now, and then we'll check it again. I think it'd be interesting for us to listen to it again. There's another interesting thing. Let's see. Oh, let's keep going and figure out all the rest of the chords just really quick. So how about here? What about these 2 bars?
3, 6, 2.
What do you guys think? Everybody agree?
I think it plays 6 on both bars.
I think I agree with Sada Jane, but
Okay.
it's. I think it's like a 3 half diminished.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
I think it's like this over 6.
Okay.
And then I think it's a 6 here.
All right.
I mean, I actually ended up. I decided this now because I've been paying closer attention. Before I thought it was the 3-6-2 just because it sounds like that, but then I've been trying to pay close attention to what the bass is doing. And even when he plays solo piano, it sounds like he's actually playing like 6 in the bass for these 2 bars to me. So then this is a 6-7 flat 9, I think, right? And then 2 minor as well. And how about the D section? Do you guys figure out the chord qualities here? Feel any more secure?
Yeah.
What do we have? What are the 2? There's the 2 chord, half diminished, minor, dominant, augmented, sus, power chord.
I think minor 7.
I think so too. Yeah.
Everybody agree? I agree. Okay. And how about this one?
I think the same.
Minor 7.
I mean, the last time I heard it dominant, but I don't know.
The 3 chord.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? Sada Jane, Luca, Kavi? I think there's a half diminished chord.
Yeah, it could be.
That's what I was thinking. So I'm going to write half diminished or minor 7, and we can check again. Those are like our 2 options here. Let's see what else is interesting here. How about the 7-3 chords here?
I think the 7 is half diminished.
Yeah.
And the 3 is dominant.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Disagree? Agree. I agree. Let's see, what else? Are we missing anything? Sharp 4, have to finish? No. Okay, so one thing that I think is interesting, I agree, except in the last chorus of piano, Keith plays like, he definitely plays like a perfect fifth here. So I think he like changed some stuff here. He's doing like, that's like a pretty exciting moment to me harmonically when we listen to it. I want to listen to it again together now and point that out to you. Let's see if I can find that really quick. And another thing I noticed during the bass solo, there's something interesting that happens here, I think. So let's listen to the, let's see if I can find the like last chorus of piano solo before the bass solo. Oh, by the way, actually, it might be quicker to just listen to it from the beginning, and then I'll stop it when we get to these spots. I think that might make more sense. One thing I also want you guys to notice is, actually, I think they totally mess up the form, because I think when Gary Peacock comes in wrong, I certainly am not managing to count through all the bars that I'm expecting. I think they eventually just agree. They're like, okay, now we're here. That's it. You know, they like figure it out, which is a totally real way that all of us, I don't know how much experience you guys have doing this, but this stuff happens all the time on stage, especially if you're not as good as Gary Peacock, Jack DeJohnette, and Keith Jarrett, like me. So, so yeah, they just kind of figured it out, but they're taking risks all the time, and you can hear, if you're paying attention, all the times that that Gary Peacock takes some space and doesn't do the things that we expect him to do. And one of the things that he does is at the end of the, I think at the end of the first chorus where he came in, he thinks it's time for him to do a solo, and he kind of takes this little phrase, it's like he's starting a solo, and then Keith Jarrett says, nope, it's my turn, and he keeps playing, and then Gary Peacock goes back to accompanying right away. So that's like kind of the way this stuff works. There's tons of like, if you check out the trio videos, it's some of the most like amazing trio playing. I mean, and there's tons of times when there's like, you know, like a solo break, and they come in totally not in time, or really out of tune. It's like really, really risky all the time, which is one of the things I think that's so exciting about it. So why don't we listen to it from the beginning, and as we go through it, maybe if I hear something that I'd like to talk about, I'll just stop it really quick and point out if I notice something. Okay, and if anybody else does too, you're more than welcome to interrupt. So anybody that wants to, like, if you want to, like, if there's something that you notice and you want to talk about it, please feel free to jump in. Here we go. Does it? It sounds kind of to me like there might be a flat 5 on that. Does anybody agree?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an example of like, I don't really know what the answer is. I think also because I don't know the theme of that song this song that well. So that would, I'm sure that would clear things up, or it's likely that would clear things up. But anyway, I hear a flat 5 here, and then other times I hear a minor. So. You guys hear the bass pedal on the 6?
Yeah.
Definitely a flat 5 in the piano there. You hear it? Da. I feel like here also they play half diminished.
Yeah.
Here comes Gary Peacock. Nope. He's pedaling. They condense this whole 6/5 into the ending of this bar. There's some interesting voices moving here. Doesn't sound like a minor 7 to me in this case. Here it is. Da da. That's a da 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 da. Not half diminished. Definitely minor 7 this time. Also, this time I think they played minor 7s here. So it seems like these are totally elastic. They can decide each time what they want to do. Is that a minor 7? No, I think this still have diminished there. Pay attention to what Keith does here in this this bar of the 2 chord. Anybody notice what that is?
dominant, isn't it?
I think it's more interesting than that. I think. Like you're not wrong. Anybody have an idea? I think it's a tritone substitution. I think it's a flat 6 dominant.
Is it flat 6? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let's listen to it again. See if you guys hear that. It sounds like it's, you know, I wasn't paying attention to the voicings. It just has that sound to me. It seems so recognizable. Hopefully I'm right. It's actually been the form. I didn't realize it before. Major. No, he's done playing the form. Okay, so that's it. I'm pretty sure we got everything right. And I'm pretty sure they do kind of change between these at will. I need to check out the melody again. I learned this like a year ago for a tour, but I don't remember it that well, so I need to check it out again. And I didn't learn it from this recording. I learned it from the Chet Baker one, which is great too. And if you guys want to check out the Chet Baker one, that could be like a nice alternative. Let's see. Thank you guys all for checking this out and partying with me. It was cool. How did this feel to you guys in terms of like difficulty? I know it was like quite a bit more challenging than most of the ones we've done so far in terms of advanced parties. How was it? Was it like, what did you guys think of this approach where we just listened to the whole song a bunch of times?
It's good.
Yeah. Was it pretty frustrating for you, Luca? You were pretty quiet. I'm sorry, but
at the beginning, yes, I was very frustrated, but we listened so many times, and so I got into the song,
okay.
and it's useful. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So what do you guys think about, like, do you have a preference between this and the more like kind of section where we work on a specific section, or do you like the idea of like kind of switching back and forth, or?
I like this.
It seems to me like this is closer to what you actually would need to do on a stage, if this happened to you on a stage, you know, or like having to learn like at a rehearsal, like, oh, just like, let's play this tune, and you just have to learn it. And this is like kind of how it would probably work. So I think this is kind of like a fun adventure. I think it's a little bit more like a game than the other one. So, all right. Anybody have any questions? No. If you guys want to stick around, I'm going to listen. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but there's this unbelievable Jarrett encore from a Tokyo concert where there's like these rhythm things happening that I don't know how he does it. And I'm going to listen to that now just because I'm in the mood. And if you guys want to like hang out for that, it's definitely worth hearing, especially if you've never heard it before. It's pretty unbelievable. Otherwise, thank you all, and hopefully see you guys on Thursday. And you're more than welcome to share again, like suggestions. I've been getting Kavinia and Sada Jane have been sharing suggestions for future parties. So I have those on. I actually have a really big list now. The problem is I'm still really having a hard time finding stuff for beginner parties because most of the stuff I have on my list is like probably pretty tricky. So especially need help for beginner parties. So are you guys going to hang out or are you guys going to split? If you're going to split, we can say goodnight now. Otherwise, I'm going to put on this Jarrett thing.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're in? Okay. I won't be offended if you guys decide to leave, just so you know.
I'm in.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see him too, because it's pretty sick, the whole thing. Let's see. And computer sound. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
The quality is horrible of the video, but that's not my fault. So that's how you do that. I don't know if you guys, do you guys know Giovanni Allevi?
The face.
Yeah, he's a pretty famous Italian piano player among people that like bad music. And at some point, he's really into like kind of like doing interviews where he compares himself. I think he calls himself like the 21st century Chopin or something like that.
No, I heard that he said he's Mozart.
Oh yeah, maybe it was Mozart. Yeah, I think maybe somebody.
Mozart
maybe somebody
has
said
no rhythm. Mozart has no rhythm. He said.
Okay, yeah. Well, another thing he said is at some point he was talking about how he composed a song, and he said, I think he was on an airplane and he saw, or I don't know, he's like walking on the street and he saw like an ambulance drive past, and the noise of it made him split his brain in two, and then he thought of like the thing that his right hand could do and the thing that his left hand could do, and I think he's probably even better than Jarrett at that. I don't know how he does it. It's insane. It's like having two people like in the same body. Like that whole section towards the end where like all of a sudden the right hand becomes like this totally fluid rubato thing while the left hand is doing this ridiculous. Anyway, pretty amazing performance in my opinion. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, it's kind of unrelated, but I'm just kind of curious what that alarm was for, Nico. Or like what your alarm at 11:30 was for?
No, because I have to bring out the trash outside.
Oh.
That's why.
You always have interesting alarms.
That's a good question though, Gabi. Okay, thanks everybody. Oh, by the way, another thing, do you guys like the idea of doing more like kind of jazz stuff? Because we basically, I mean, all the songs that we've done are like jazz and they're kind of jazz versions, but we haven't done anything much where there's like really a lot of improvisation and like more. This was like, again, I think one of the reasons it was difficult is because we've been listening to stuff where people are playing written parts mostly, and the arrangements are really clear and stuff. Do you like the idea of doing more stuff like this, like mixing this in, or do you prefer to stick to like original songs? I like to do both personally, so I don't know if you guys have a preference one way or the other.
Both is cool.
Both is cool, so kind of like switch back and forth. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, Dan. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Take
Good
care,
night.
everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.